Hey everyone, it's Saoirse, and I told you guys that I wanted to do a chill video, or a cozy video, so I hope this works. I'm in a new setup here in my room, and I've got cats walking around on my bed, and on my bed I have flowers and a candle. So, if you see things catch on fire, it's a party. But that's not what we're going for, right, Springer? We're going for cozy. So today I want to talk about Petrol Honey by Rob Auton. And I just thought everybody could use a little bit of, I don't know, chill time, time to think. I know we're all stuck at home, and for some of us that can be really difficult. So this makes me happy, and I hope talking about it makes you happy too. And I'm sorry about the lighting, because this window is right next to me instead of in front of me, so I'm like half shadow. Work with me. I don't have a ring light. So a little bit about Rob Auton. I have an interesting little anecdote on how I found out about him. I was in England in 2016. I was living with my second cousin once removed, and there was going to be a music festival, not just music, but it was like, it had art and poetry and all kinds of things, and I'd never really been to a music festival before, and I thought, why not? And then I found out that my favorite band, Frightened Rabbit, was playing, so obviously I had to go. And it was really close by to where I was staying in Suffolk, and so I show up to this festival. I'm mostly hanging out by myself, and at the end of the day I have to get myself back on a bus, and I missed the bus. So I walked into this random tent, and it was a poetry tent, and inside was this performance going on, and there was this tall guy standing at a microphone holding a bunch of like notebooks and papers, and a lot of people in the audience just really engaged and staring at this performer. So I very soon became sucked into it, and I had to sit down. And this was kind of like a spoken word performance is how I think of it. I think there's a fine line between poetry and spoken word, and Rob Auton really strikes a good balance. So after the show, I felt so transported and like blown away by this. Like the power of language, you guys know how I am. So I bought one of his books, which is called In Heaven the Onions Make You Laugh. And unfortunately that one's in Florida right now, so I can't show you, but I can show you Petrol Honey. So I actually was lucky enough to get to see Rob Auton again at Edinburgh Fringe, which was this past August when I moved here to Scotland. So my mom went with me, and it was amazing because I'd been telling her about this poet or writer for years, and she finally got to see him with me. And we sat in the front row, and he did the Time show. That was the show that he was touring, and my mom got picked on a lot because she was right in the front, and we're just like glaringly American. But it was incredible, and I just love the way that you can feel audiences completely just moved to another dimension when he speaks. He's very good. He has such a presence. So I got this book after that performance. We have another cat. I'm watching the candle, don't worry. You can't even see it. You can't even see it. Well, it's very cozy in here, I promise you. So he signed this book for me. Saoirse, thanks for coming to my show. And I just want to read a few of the things that really stand out to me, and I'm not going to read you everything obviously because I want you to buy this. And I will link his website, which tells you about what you can buy and where he's touring, and all that good stuff. He also has a podcast, which I think is just called the Rob Auton Daily Podcast. on the daily podcast. Can you see that? Focus. There you go. So, let's see. Oh, I want to show you this picture first. This makes me laugh. Word for the day. And then it says, the elephant can't move because his legs are the gaps. Focus. There. Just very, like, quirky, imaginative stuff in here. So I will read you... No, first I'm going to show you another picture. Throughout the book, there are a lot of these illustrations. He's a really good artist, too. It's like, oh, you have so many talents. I would like to have another talent, please. Or even one singular talent. It says, are you the orangutan who says yes all the time? And then they say no. And throughout the book, there are other animals introduced, and I will not tell you the outcome of this series of illustrations. You're gonna have to get the book. I hope you can hear me too. I'm talking really softly and the camera is remarkably far away from me. Again, because of the lighting and all that. So I'm gonna read you Tourist. Sometimes when I'm walking on my own in London, I like to wear my rucksack on my front. It transforms me into a tourist in the city I have lived in for 9 years. Not only does it transform me into a tourist, but a tourist who is on his own. People look at me as I walk solo along the South Bank. They must think I am very brave to come to London unaccompanied. I see parents pointing me out to their children. Look, Billy, he must be an explorer. I pretend to see things for the first time, but act the same way I always do. St. Paul's. Just look up. I love that one, especially just having been solo in London so many times. Like every time I go to London, I'm alone pretty much. Oops. Just so you know, I have a cat on either side of me, and it is brilliant. You can't see. Okay. Let's do the cartoon of reality. Existence is a cartoon train ride. I am desperately holding on to the front of the train, frantically laying track. I speed into what seems like inevitable disaster, grabbing bits of wood and metal that seem to come from nowhere, trying to give myself some sort of future to travel on. I travel into the unknown desert of time. I haven't watched slip by yet, not knowing where the next bit of track is going to come from, never mind thinking about which direction I am going in, blindly attempting to... I'm sitting comfortably in a food-filled tapas bar. Those small green peppers with the nice salt on, that I can't remember the name of. Red wine in bricky, small, handleless mug cups. Blood of a beautiful moment. Lamb chops from the best cloud you have ever seen. This is what my mouth is for. Candles with fresh flames. All flames are fresh. Crisp, clean white shirts in washing powder adverts made from fire. A whistle blows and my blistered hands are reaching for planks and metal, helplessly trying to keep myself traveling on the rails of what I have been born into. My heart is racing against the clock that it powers fast train noise, faster train noise, sound of shouting, sound of screaming. I am eating a brand new bread bacon sandwich and have just had a mouthful of tea. I love this one because I interpret it as like, especially when you have anxiety, all of the thoughts that are running through your head all the time, and it's something that when I've written about a panic attack that I've tried to describe as a 5-alarm fire in your head that you can't put out, and everybody's running around screaming in there, and there's sirens, and then what people see on the surface is you eating a sandwich and having a mouthful of tea, because you can never really... Your interior can never really be seen fully on the outside. I'll leave it at that. This one is called Bar of Brain. When I was born, my brain was as hard and fresh as soap is when you first take it from the packet. Definite shape and lines. My mind has been sitting in a soap dish with accidental water for years. The edge is now soft and near translucent from life coming in through the sense holes. I know there is still some brain in there that is untouched. It is solid and stubborn in the middle, pure and without footprints. Nobody can get to it, not even me. I like that one. I just do. addition to like illustrations and poetry, there are also like there's like a longer story. And this is called Nature, but I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to pick out a few bits. So, at the beginning he's watching television with the window open and a bat flies into the room. So he says, "It would help if I looked at my notes. I walked through into the kitchen to make a cup of tea and poured a bit of milk onto a plate for the bat. I don't know why I thought the bat would like the milk. I remembered giving a hedgehog some milk on a plate when I was little, and this kind of felt like a similar situation to that. Magical but firmly rooted in nature, like a really good sunset. I have probably seen more bats in my lifetime than hedgehogs, but I keep them next to each other in my brain. They live in a room that I don't open too often. Also in that room are birds' nests that I saw in hedges when I was little that had blue eggs in them. I think that's all that's in there. It's not a big room, but it's one I like." I just think that's really beautiful. The way that we associate things and connect them to each other and categorize things in our brains without knowing it. This is from the same piece. I'm just so chill right now. Can you guys tell? I'm taking my sweet time. My bedroom is big enough for a bed, some drawers, a bookcase, and 2 wardrobes. The reason I have 2 wardrobes is because in my last flat the bedroom didn't come with a wardrobe, and the lady who was moving out said I could buy her wardrobe for £40. So when it came time to leave, I couldn't leave the wardrobe that was now mine. I had never owned my own wardrobe before. So now I've got 2 wardrobes in my bedroom, one with clothes in it, and one filled with things I haven't thrown away. It is an ugly scene in that wardrobe. If someone from the feng shui department came round and assessed my wardrobe situation, I think they would start crying. Having something in your room that you never want to open cannot be good for your mental health. It is a wooden cloud that rains splinters into my eyes every time I look at it. Can anybody else relate with their junk drawer or closet, or just things that you do not want to look at but you still haven't organized? For me, like, cleaning really helps my mental health. If my space is very neat and pretty and cozy and there isn't like unnecessary clutter everywhere, I'm just a lot happier. This is still from the same one. About 3 years ago, I started using a brand of soap, and the first time I used it, I knew I was going to use it for as long as the company kept producing it, and as long as I could afford it. Not that it is expensive, but I try to keep a certain amount of fear in me to keep myself from becoming complacent. I use this soap and it makes me clean. That is what I want from a soap. I just love these like little one-liners. He's just brilliant at those. Like in his show at Latitude, he said, "Kiwi fruits are the eggs of bears." And I just have never forgotten that image. The little furry brown eggs of bears. Oh, I have another one here. When I get out of the shower, I dry myself and then go into my bedroom and I put my clothes on. I don't like getting dressed. I've still got that thing that I had as a child. I hate getting dressed. I also don't like going to bed. Now that I no longer live with my parents, I am always naked and never asleep. It just makes me smile. Where am I? Oh, I like this part. I normally get the underground train to work on a morning. There is still a glimmer of excitement in being underground and on a train. The thought of somebody saying, "Okay, we are going to put trains underground," must have sounded like what insanity sounds like. The ground is so full of ground. I wonder what it was like the day they started. A single man with a shovel digging into the London mud, shouting, "This is where the stairs are going to be! Look at me, everybody! I'm digging out the stairs!" The job in front of those people was a big one, unknowing if the ground above them was going to hold up. I don't know what machines they would have used, but I do know that the ground under London used to be full of earth and mud, and now it is full of miserable commuters. Hey, come on, guys. We're on a train underground, digging out the Victoria line. Where did they put all that earth? that they took from the tunnels and stations? Was it used to make hills? Or were they scattered over Great Britain? The ashes of car journeys to and from work in the capital. I am a little obsessed with the London Underground. Everyone hates it. Like, everyone I say that to is like, why would you enjoy that? It's the worst. Yeah, it would wear on me if I had to do it every day, but it is like very exciting and exhilarating to be able to figure out another form of transportation, get myself somewhere. I think this is the last one. Oh yeah, this is a short one. When death gets close, it seems to inflate life. Like sometimes when you try to pop a bubble in a piece of bubble wrap, and the bubble doesn't pop, the air just moves into the next bubble, making it more full. I love that. I love that because I think about that a lot, how if we knew we were going to live forever, that life could lose meaning, and things are naturally dearer to us if we know that we can lose them. So, anyway, I highly recommend not just this book, but his other work as well. And there's a little teeny tiny picture of the other one. Hopefully you saw that. Yeah, maybe I can show you when I get back to Florida eventually. So, what have I got here in my little cozy spot? I do have a cup of, it's like this, I have to show you, I'm hiding it. So, how do I explain this? It's like barley tea, barley malt, something. It's like coffee. It tastes like coffee to me, but it's not. And my flatmate knew about it, and she had some, and she gave it to me, and I was like sold immediately. So we just bought a whole bunch. Like, we have 3 of these giant things each now. We had to stock up, you know, because I don't know exactly how long we're going to be inside. So we are currently in the United Kingdom on lockdown for 3 weeks. Hoping it doesn't last any longer than that, but honestly I'm just feeling very cozy and calm about it now. I was kind of freaked out at first. But I'm getting a lot done. You know, I'm working on my essay, and I'm writing about Villette and the Bell Jar, so at least I'm working on something that I am passionate about, although I hate writing essays. Anyway, this stuff is great because if you are like me and you can't really have coffee because it makes you insane or makes your heart like go absolutely crazy, then this is like a lower caffeine. I don't even know how much caffeine or if there is. The point is that it does not have the caffeine level of coffee, and I prefer coffee to tea usually, so it's nice for me to have this option. I got this mug at Barter Books, and that is kind of just over the border in England. It's in Alnwick, I think. It's this amazing old bookstore that is in an old train station, and so they have like a little toy train that goes around inside, and I had to get this mug because it has a cat on it, and it's called a tall cat mug, like that was on the box. That made me laugh. So there's that. Oh yeah, and I have this new dress I wanted to show you. It has cat on it, and I don't know if I can turn around right now without like knocking everything over, but can you see that? It says Cat Lady. So that was too perfect. What else have we got? I got, let me just preface this. And some of you might think I'm super weird, but like, everybody has their thing, right? We all have to do what we can to keep ourselves going. So I have been watching so much ASMR lately, and I only found out about ASMR like a year and a half ago. And if you don't know what it is, it stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. And think about like anytime you have had somebody like play with your hair, or when you're at like the eye doctor or something and they're like doing this, and they're like showing you things and telling you to like focus on stuff, and it's just, and like using a gentle voice. I've always gotten a tingly brain from that, and I had no idea that was ASMR. And it's a whole like genre of videos now, like auditory ASMR, visual ASMR. There's a lot of things that can give you brain tingles. Not everybody gets them, but I do, and it is so relaxing. So while I've been working on my essay, I've been watching ASMR, and I will link you to my favorite ASMR artist, GB. She's keeping me very, very chill. And she has these, I'm gonna look crazy. She has these coasters that look like toast, okay? And I had to get them because when you tap on them, I don't know if you can hear it because I don't have like a microphone like she does, but it's like really relaxing and they're just adorable. So now I've got toaster coasters and life is just pretty good. So if you're like feeling really anxious in this time and you're not sure how to deal with the changing reality, I would definitely recommend checking out ASMR, and don't, you know, judge it at first and think it's too weird. It's actually really nice. So, and I've also like got some dreams of one day making ASMR videos, but I don't know, I guess everything seems like a big, like too big of a goal before you actually start it. Like I never thought I was actually gonna start this channel, and now look, it's been over a year and I love it. I'm having a great time. You guys are still sticking around even though I haven't learned how to edit videos. I even opened up iMovie today to see if I could figure out how to edit, and iMovie like just will not work even on my new laptop. So that's cool. I wish you could see these cats because I'm going to say goodbye now and I really want you to have a look at them. Let me see if I can move without lighting everything on fire in here. Okay. There's one. Maybe if I zoom out. There's Caddy. And there's Springer. Springer! There he is. Now that like I've made this camera crazy and I'm all the way down here, and this is like when editing would come in handy. But anyway, these are my cats. Maybe they will, I'll just pick them up. They've been helping me a lot with my essay and staying chill. Isn't that right? They are the best little buddies, as well as my flatmate, Lena. I'm very grateful for her, or it would just be me and the kitties and no other humans here in lockdown. Okay, he's too chill. He's not about it right now. So thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me today. Good luck with your lockdowns or whatever's going on where you live. You know what? There's a great big beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. I love the carousel of progress. Anyway, we're gonna get through this and we'll get through it together. And we're gonna be all the better for it. So I will see you next time. I don't know with what,